The El Paso County Community Services Department consists of 7 divisions, providing a wide variety of programs and services directly to citizens.
Environmental services and recycling. It can include veteran services, parks and recreation, pretrial services, and CSU extension. It's our goal to provide programs and services for all segments of the population, and hopefully provide a little something for everybody. Most of our services are not mandated by the state or federal government, and so we try to provide citizen-driven services.
El Paso County residents have repeatedly shown their support of county parks, trails, open space, and recreation programs. Residents and visitors alike enjoy the great Colorado outdoors on nearly 8,000 acres of El Paso County parks and open space.
We have over 104 miles of trails, and a lot of those trails are connected to national trail systems to where people can ride their bikes or do hiking through a variety of communities.
The new Falcon Regional Park in eastern El Paso County, along with Fox Run and Black Forest Regional Parks in the northern part of the county, Fountain Creek Regional Park in the Widefield Fountain area, Homestead Ranch, the Pineries Open Space, the Pink Mines Interpretive Park, and Bear Creek Regional Park in Colorado Springs all offer great outdoor recreation space, and our healthy outdoor lifestyle is frequently cited by employers looking to locate in our area because they are important quality of life contributors that will help them to attract and retain the skilled workers they need.
The Planning Division provides professional planning and project management services. Our focus is parks, trails, and open space, but we also get involved in special projects having to do with water resources, for example. We staff the Fountain Creek Watershed District Technical Advisory Committee. We're providing the project management for a groundwater quality study that's been underway for quite some time.
Social media, electronic surveys, town hall, and neighborhood meetings hosted by block captains give residents a chance to share their thoughts and priorities. Citizen input is vitally important.
We typically do a survey when we're doing a master plan for a given area. On our Falcon Regional Park, which is now under construction, we had an online survey that received over 700 responses, so people were very much engaged. The current Fountain Creek Regional Park master plan process, we had over 400 comments via survey.
As plans come together, they are presented for review and recommendation to citizens volunteers who serve on the Parks Advisory Board. And from there, they go on to the Board of County Commissioners for final approval.
We have multiple volunteers, including Eagle Scouts, that come to us with ideas that they can implement into our parks. We work with them, we set up the projects themselves, we oversee the volunteers and make sure that they're successful. We do a lot of youth corps projects to try to keep our youth in our communities involved in our park systems. And they do things like fire mitigation.
We have approximately 25,000 hours per year for volunteerism. These include doing environmental cleanups, to helping run nature programs, to assisting with our friends groups, to coordinate fundraising projects as well. And we are very blessed to have that many citizens involved in overall community services activities. In addition to that, they help raise approximately $200,000 a year that are critical funds for us to support programs, facilities, and services. And honestly, we couldn't do it without them.
Also under the umbrella of community services are environmental services, the County Veterans Service Office, and community corrections, including the Useful Public Services Program.
Useful public service is an alternate sentencing option that the courts, the district and the county courts use. It's beneficial for the community and it's appropriate for the violation. Basically, the courts have an offender in front of them and they sentence them to community service work or hours in the community.
For some offenders, community corrections is more effective than jail time. It gives them a chance to make restitution and it reduces overcrowding in the Criminal Justice Center.
It really is a privilege for them. They are not in jail. They are out in our community and our courts have decided that the consequence for them is to provide a service to the community as restitution for their offense.
This program is completely self-funded through the fees that are charged to offenders in the program. They are assigned to one of more than 250 organizations throughout the community.
These can be nonprofit organizations, government agencies, senior organizations, even churches. So individuals are assigned according to the needs of these organizations as well as the skill level of the offender.
The Environmental Division operates El Paso County's popular household hazardous waste facility, which helps to preserve groundwater quality by keeping hazardous materials out of area landfills. EPA and Colorado statutes make counties responsible for the protection of groundwater resources.
Back in the early 90s, the commissioners instituted the Solid Waste Users Facility Fund, which funded drop-offs at locations throughout El Paso County. In 2002, the facility actually opened, the permanent facility actually opened to residents of El Paso and Teller counties. The facility is funded by a fee, a tipping fee if you will, at landfills. No general fund money is involved. It's all from a fee at landfills. It is 30 cents per cubic yard, or about $1.20 per ton. Works out to be about $1.77 per person per year. We take household hazardous waste, anything that is flammable, keep away from children, warning, caution, any of those kind of things. Would include things like paint, lawn and garden chemicals, household cleaners, automotive cleaners, motor oil. We also take things like electronics, any of your computers or monitors, TVs up to and including 19-inch diagonal screen, no larger. We also take fluorescent tubes, that have the mercury in them, the long fluorescent tubes and the new curly tubes as well.
Environmental Services operates on three key principles: reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Certainly the most thing that we get is paint. It's our #1 product. Last year we accepted over 70,000 gallons of paint for recycling. The first thing that we do is look at any of the paint to see if it can first come out on our drop and swap. Anything that is still homogenized paint, anything like that, we put it out on drop and swap for sure. Next, it goes to see if we can use it for our graffiti abatement program. We provide paint to the City of Colorado Springs, El Paso County, several other nonprofit agencies who want to do some graffiti abatement. So we also provide some paint and some stain to the fair every year for them to paint picnic tables or paint bleachers, those kind of things. After that, all of our paint goes to a vendor, a recycler in Pueblo, and he opens his staff opens every single container. Anything that's light colors, they mix together in larger containers, and then it is available to the public at large to be able to pick that up. They can use it for any kind of painting that they would like to do. Also, we give it to Habitat for Humanity, any of those kind of institutions that would want a lot of paint, that would want some recycled paint for sure. So we try to recycle every single every single gallon that we can.
Used motor oil, newspapers, household batteries, porcelain, and plastics are all collected for recycling, while household electronics, expired medications, sharps, and small televisions are accepted for safe and proper disposal.
The thing is that we don't want things to go to the landfill because eventually, even though landfills these days are very sophisticated and have good lining systems and alternate daily cover and all those kind of things, there still is, landfills still can leak and eventually end up into the water table. So we really prefer that people bring things here.
Community Services Environmental Division is also responsible for developing programs, procedures, and standards for efficient mapping, monitoring, and control of tree diseases and noxious weeds. Community Services is all about community partnerships and community collaboration. Through events like Let Her Rip, where Environmental Services partnered with the District Attorney's Office, the Sheriff's Office, the Better Business Bureau, a recycling firm, and a local television station to give residents a convenient way to properly dispose of old documents and records.
we want to make sure that people are aware that, you know, if you just throw this stuff in the garbage, you know, important files and documents, things that have your social security number, even your address, people can use that and take that and use it for their own gain. And so what we want to make sure we're doing is educating people about making sure that this information gets shredded.
And there's also the highly successful Great American Cleanup, an effort that brings together volunteers across the country to spruce up and clean up.
I think it's phenomenal. I mean, I think everybody should, you know, one way or the other, whether it's, you know, helping the community doing cleaning up parks, you know, volunteering at a soup kitchen, you know, doing some type of work for your community. I mean, it does so much for us. Why can't we come back and do for them in return?
Community services is all about bringing together the community, bringing together all resources, because together we can do so much more.
In regards to the Community Services Department budget, we strive to provide funding from third-party sources versus relying strictly on county tax dollars. About 80% of our budget comes from those sources. Those include lottery funds, tipping fees, grants, other types of revenue. And so overall, we're quite pleased that we don't rely strictly on county tax dollars to support our programs and services.
From parks to pretrial services, from community partnerships to community cleanups, El Paso County Community Services covers a lot of ground.